Hi, I'm James Eade of the Eade Foundation. And the Eade Foundation tries to build communities through chess. Doesn't matter what country you're from, it doesn't matter what language you speak. If you play chess, you're part of the chess community. And this is episode 64 of the Chess Files. The answers are out there. So, what's the question of today? Well, have you ever known a chess book to win a children's literature prize? I haven't. And so I found one that did. And I have the author, Victoria Winifred, here. And Victoria, welcome to the show.
Hi there, Jim. Happy to be here.
Good. And so I'm holding in my hands
Mhm.
The Princess, the Knight, and the Lost God, a
Uh,
chess story.
Good to
And
see
it,
it there.
and it looks like your name is on top.
It is. That's where it ended up. That was
So
my artist at work. Yes.
yeah, and it looks fantastic. I just got it yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to even peruse it
Hmm.
to any extent,
No problem.
except that it looks very readable. And
Thank you.
yeah, and so it's pleasant to the eye. And I think, I guess you want children to read it. That's one of the ways you make it attractive.
It's
So
true. And I was very fortunate to have such a terrific illustrator, Louisa Galston. She has her own website. She's out there on the net. And wow, I really worked her hard on that chess scene. I want you to know.
I bet. I
Thanks,
bet.
Louisa.
My producer is sending me a message. I've forgotten to start with the basics. I
Sure.
want to start with the questions like, uh, where are you from? Where do you live now? And how'd you get started with chess? So, where are you from?
All right. Well, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Isn't everyone eventually tracing back? But I'm a true
Nowadays.
Brooklynite,
Yeah.
and I lived there and grew up near Flatbush Avenue in my youth. The famous
Famous.
uh, Princess of Flatbush. They have the Lords of Flatbush. I
Yeah.
suppose I'm on the other one. So, and after that, I'll have to do a fast forward. We don't want the story of my life, right? But I lived
Right.
in Manhattan for a while and I got married, continued to live in Brooklyn. We moved to Long Island. And in 2016, my husband and I moved to beautiful East Tennessee, which is where we reside now.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Wow. So, how does New Yorker play in Tennessee? Oh, no, no. Let's not get distracted by that. uh,
Just fine.
but you're doing well. So, that's
Yes.
great to know. How'd you get started in chess?
Well, I have to credit my brother Alex, who taught me when I was a child, and
Shout out
it
to Alex.
intrigued me and it stayed with me. And I didn't play it for many, many, many years. And I went through many different stages of my life. And after a couple of career changes, well, the big permanent one was to education and teaching in 2006. And one day I was walking down the hallway and I passed a colleague's classroom, and it was an after school program going on. It was very quiet and interesting feeling coming from it. And I wandered in to say hi to my friend and noticed the chess sets were out. And I saw a chess set in the back that wasn't being used at that time, and I walked over to it, and it was really, for me, a true magical moment. It
Yeah.
really called out to me, and I went over and I just had that feeling, like, "I remember you."
Yeah.
And after that, I spoke to my friend, and he told me about professional development classes in chess that were available at that time. And I also had another friend that had been playing a chess tournament. So all of these things converged in a meaningful way. And after that, that was the end of that. Chess fever struck me and has not left since.
Wow. That is such an inspiring story.
Thank you. It was an inspiring moment.
Yes, yes. And so now you've combined the educator and the chess background, and you're doing chess in schools. Is that correct?
Yes. One of the things that came of this is my wonderful new affiliation with chessinschools.us as an education consultant. And I've been actually writing a blog for them, Chess Defender. My
Yep.
second issue just came out of that, in addition to my own work on my website. But so, yeah, that's been terrific. And it's sort of like when they say you found your tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, I wasn't the only crazy chess person out there all this time. To my colleagues, many of them, caught the fever with me, but there were a good number that it's like, what is she doing?
Oh, yeah. I remember those looks.
Yes, but some of them I actually quite enjoyed. I remember that after I moved to Tennessee, I'd taught 10 years in New York City schools.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and I taught a gifted program there as well as general education, all subjects, and I chessed everyone to death there. To pieces would be a pun, I suppose.
Right, right.
But after I moved to Long Island, to East Tennessee, the first job I had, I was teaching second grade that year, and I had this naturally. I had the second graders primarily. We must learn chess, and always found time to do that. This magical pocket of time chess provides, I find,
Mhm.
and they were all out playing their games, and someone came into the room who I sort of think had a general feeling of disdain for the kids. She wasn't a teacher. I don't know exactly what her job was, but
Mhm.
she came in and she was stunned. She seemed as if she thought she had stepped onto another planet because all these kids were gathered around the boards, intent on what they were
Right,
doing. And
right,
she said, "What are they doing?"
right.
I said, "Well, they're playing chess." She said, "You taught them to play chess?"
Yeah,
And I said, "I most certainly did.
yeah. We're
I've taught
second graders.
kindergartners to
Yeah.
play chess."
Yeah.
So but it's very rewarding to see, the stunned look on people's faces because I
Oh,
believe in the kids so much, and
mm,
you and I both know how it can be with them and chess, all
yes.
things chess. So, yes, and so it continued.
That is
Mhm.
it's so cool. I can remember parents picking up their kids after I was teaching them, and I would
Yes.
ask them, "Do you play chess?" And, "Oh, no.
Yes. Oh,
I'm
no, no, we
teaching
can't.
your child to play. I could teach you."
Yes.
It's not that's the whole point of, I'm gonna go back to your book for a
Oh, no,
second, but the
that's fine.
whole
Yeah.
point of this book,
That's your
um,
book. Wow.
is to demystify what people think is a complicated, subject matter. And of course,
Yes.
the deeper you get into chess, the more complex it is.
Sure.
But to play it, it is not that
No.
difficult.
No.
And to play it and find someone who is roughly around your strength, you experience all the joy of chess.
Mhm.
And the other thing that I noticed with the kids is that there's a couple of things. One is that we don't tell them that you have to be smart to play chess, but they have that
No.
association.
Yes.
And so they think if they can play chess, they must be smart. And that's directly transferable back into other classrooms. And so that confidence that chess gives them. And the other thing is that kids, even though they're learning so many things like to postpone immediate gratification, don't move your queen out right away, and those types of things, those skill sets that are life skills, they think they're at recess. They think they're playing.
Yes.
And so they enjoy it. They're
It is
having
so
fun.
true.
And so you were teaching while they're having fun. And it's
It's true.
so
Well,
great.
something I said, I wrote a guest blog for Carrie Fan and Chess Kid that's out there right now also. It's called The Magic of Chess in the Classroom, and what I said and what I started my article with was, "What is learned in fun is never forgotten." And it engages the students so much. And as you said, all the things you said, I so connect with the parents and
Yeah, yeah,
the kids thinking they're small, and they are. I mean, the whole thing is they find out they're smart by
yeah.
playing chess. That's the way I
That's it,
see it.
isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
they
Yeah,
they
they
find
they
out
may
that
not
they
have gotten
are.
any
Yes,
support for their
that's
intelligence
correct.
before, but they
And I
get it.
and I've been with a wide range of children on, the whole spectrum of education from, SPED to gifted, and there's no difference there. It is an equal playing field. And what I mean by that is the engagement and the love for it. They had kids at different schools. Oh, this kid, he won't do this. He won't. Just give him to me. Can I please have him for just a little while? Let me
Yeah,
get him engaged in something. And I did. And I don't have to tell you it works. They
yeah.
give me the credit for it. It's really chess.
Back in the day, I would go to principals and say, "I'll teach a chess class for free," and they would look at me like I had little antenna coming out of my head,
You
and
did there for a second.
it was like, then they were calling me because the parents were getting it, that their kids were
Parents get it fast.
yeah,
I had, again, referring back to one of the stories I often tell is my first year that I did that, which was my second year of teaching when I just infused my room with chess. we played it an awful lot. We talked about the math of it and the longitude and the latitude of the
uh,
board and
the
the
geometry.
representation of the pieces of
Mhm.
the geometry, absolutely. The reading, chess books, reading, and I did a lot of it. So everything we did was that way, and we played as well. Father comes to parent-teacher conferences, and again, it's really my just about my maybe my second time at parent conferences in my career, and he was sort of looking at me and he said, "I understand that you play a lot of chess in this classroom." And I was sort of reaching for my notes, proving that it helps
Yeah.
academics. Yes, well, we do, but let me tell you why. But he interrupted me again. He said, "Can you teach me?"
Yes, yes.
That was what he was all about. And I did have parent events
Uh-huh.
when they would get involved with playing with the kids, and it really
Oh,
increased school engagement. It inc
right.
it it helped the relationships in the family because now people are playing chess together,
Yeah.
so it's just I mean, I really don't think, and I've said this forever, I don't think I could have made it through my teaching career without chess. So it
Um,
certainly has helped me. It has galvanized the curriculum.
well, we can talk about this for ages, and we'll get back to it. But
I know you wanna talk about my book, but I'm just excited to talk about chess.
I know, me too. But
Yes,
here it is.
thank you.
Here's a picture of it, and the first prize winner, children's fiction.
Yes, that was one of the first, contests
Oh
I was in.
my goodness.
Thank you. Well, I had my email. I launched the book on National Chess Day, October 8th, 22, and I opened my email and it said, "Oh, you're a winner." I said, "Oh, I don't know what that means, but it's a good start," you know? I figured maybe I got
Better than the alternative,
yeah, you're a loser.
right?
I figured that would have just closed my email, but I thought maybe I got honorable mention, maybe, but I
Yeah.
the first prize?
Wow,
What? So
wow.
I'm really happy. What can I say? I'm
Yeah,
honored and happy, and I'll
right.
be quite frank, I went and looked at some of the other books that had been entered. I'm like, "Really? I don't think I could," and they were great. So, I mean, the other people, they were terrific, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was really honored and to be among them
Well, that is a
in the
special
American
award.
Writing Awards.
And tell me a little bit about this one, because I didn't
Yeah,
recognize.
literary title. As you get into writing and publishing, you find there are many of these types of organizations that you can apply for. And I really enjoyed my interview with a literary titan. I mean, I received very good reviews from just Google it from everywhere that did review me, but I enjoyed the interview because just like you and I, Jim, right now, we're enjoying talking about chess. Now,
Yeah,
my book. Let me say about my book. The reason I'm babbling on about chess and education is because that's what I'm so excited about. And that's why I wrote, well, that was my inspiration for writing the book. There are a few things that contributed to that inspiration, of course, writing the book itself, not only using chess in my classroom, but number one, I was reading a poem, an ancient poem, thinking I might use it in my fourth grade classroom about Caissa. Now,
mhm,
there's not much written about the goddess of chess, although many chess players refer to her. And I was saying, well,
right,
maybe I could use this poem as poetry in my class, and this way I'm incorporating chess.
right.
But in the poem, it talked about Caissa's relationship with the god of war, Mars, who is widely known, of course. But I'd never really seen anything about that before. And I said, wow, why didn't I hear about this? I didn't know that something was going on with them.
Right.
So my imagination sort of took it from there. And why mightn't they have been wed and have a child at this point? That's the same age as my students. So that's part of how this came to be. The other reason is, or one of the other reasons is I wanted to get more chess fiction for my room, more chess books.
Yeah,
I had tons of nonfiction books. I had
right.
biographies of Alexandra Kostyanyuk that the kids
Yeah.
just loved, and Gary Kasparov's Checkmate book, and so many more. But I didn't have any stories. I know that Alice in Wonderland has a part and Harry
Yes,
Potter
yes.
has a part, but
Right.
there weren't any stories. So I was Googling away and on Amazon, and really at that time, I couldn't find anything in
Uh-huh.
print or otherwise, really. So I was sort of astonished, and I said,
Yeah.
and then I sort of got that feeling like, Vicky, that probably means you've work to do.
Yeah.
And
Well, you have
I figured if
filled the
I
gap.
didn't write this book, nobody was going to, and
Right.
in it, it's about chess in a classroom.
I would be
And
very surprised if you haven't served an inspiration to others and that there might be more stories out
well, you're right, out there
there.
is right, and in
Tip
fact,
the hat to you for that.
this year seems to be there seems to be a surge in chess fiction. I mean, I would have bought all these books, for my class then. A couple of notable ones is there's a really terrific book out there called Across the Battlefield: A Pawn's Journey by Jonathan Ferry. I don't know if you have that book yet.
Oh,
And yeah, look that one up. That's incredible, awesome book. The other one was I was on a interview with Chess Kid, uh, Fun Time with Fun Master Mike,
uh-huh.
and there was another book, I believe the author's last name was K-A-Y, and it was the night of the chess tournament, or "'Twas the night of the chess tournament." I'm sorry if
Oh,
I got the title wrong.
that's all right. That's close
And
enough for
all
me.
3 of these
Google.
books, I'll have to do my thing and say all these books, including mine, of course, um, are very suitable for Christmas presents or Hanukkah presents and all of that, and mine is I will tell a secret that mine is on sale until Christmas. On Amazon, so you might wanna snatch it up there before it goes back to the regular price the holiday weekend. But yeah, you got
I
it.
gave
You
myself
made it.
a
You made
Christmas
the cut.
present.
So but yeah, for some reason, there seems to be a
Yeah.
surge of chess
I
fiction
do have
happening.
one quibble, and it wouldn't be, um, the chess files if I didn't have a quibble.
There you go.
And
Gotta have a problem to solve.
you said Mars, and Chiasa is a Thracian,
Mhm.
and so that would be Greek. So the god would be Ares. Wouldn't Isn't that true?
Well, this is the way they met in that poem, so I'm going by history, Jim.
Well, it's the
And in
poem that I
my
have trouble with.
story, in my fantasy created world, this is how it happened. They might
Okay.
have got some things wrong.
Are you
Who
saying
knows?
that I have to just live with it, learn to accept it? I
Well,
can do that.
there are alternate realities for so many people these
Yeah.
days.
But I was a big fan when I was a kid of Greek mythology,
Mhm.
and so I just that's more about me than it is about you or
Oh,
the
no
poem.
problem. Well, maybe Percy Jackson might take objection with me too, but
Yeah.
this is how it happened. I'm
Well,
just reporting the
yeah, yeah,
fact.
yeah, and it's just you put the characters together, or you knew that the characters had something
Yeah.
in
Well, if
common.
you read the poem, it's those are their names that are used, so
Yeah, right. And so you're forgiven.
I'm glad, and
But let's
good to
get
be
back
forgiven.
to this one.
Oh, yes. An old picture of my old loved ones. That's a New York City shot. And this is just a typical sort of gathering I would have in my room for a chess tournament. You might have seen some adults there. We had some parents come and get involved.
I
And when
get
the games are over, they played with their kids,
uh-huh.
student teachers,
Yeah.
my door was open to anyone that wanted to get involved in chess. And there are
Mhm.
so many ways to get involved besides just playing it, you know.
Right.
And in my book is about the daughter of the chess goddess, Cassie, Princess Cassie, who comes to Earth because there's a war going on Chess Mountain.
Am I
Uh,
mispronouncing it? It's Cassie. It's not
the princess, the
Oh,
young girl, the
got
daughter
it.
is Cassie, yes,
Cassie.
and
Right. Got it. I
yes,
see it. Yeah.
yes, and she comes to Earth and she's put into a New York City schoolroom to live in hiding as a mortal student, and she heard horrible things about humans, but she's finding that they're not, that it's not as she was taught, and that you know,
Right.
something else in life. We need to find things out for ourselves.
Right.
We need to be open. And she learns these things and she wants to help these kids, but she senses there are kingdom enemies nearby, as she had been warned. There's quite a battle going on, and there had been quite a battle going on years previous on Chess Mountain. It's a new mythology. And in this book, she works with her new friends, and she find similar problems, and there are metaphors on the chessboard and the morals of chess as per Benjamin Franklin and such.
Hmm.
And things work out in quite an amazing way, thanks to the morals of chess and the uh, rules of the game. And as you said, learning to delay gratification,
Right. Almost
planning
life skills.
ahead, doing things in the right move order,
Right.
and so much more.
Yeah. What
And
teaches planning and that kind of thing, So, and, I always thought mathematics and music had these, these had things in chess had in
yes,
common with them.
absolutely. I'm a I've been a
The
piano teacher for many
discipline.
years also, and I see many parallels, including the black and white.
Yeah.
It's a good visual also.
Yeah. Yeah.
But by the end of the story, Cassie learns a lot, and there is the ultimate face-off, and I won't say too much about it. But the
Mhm.
question is she able to use chess thinking? Are there sacrifices involved? Can she spare her own self and the future of her kingdom of Chess Mountain? What's going to change? And I will tell you that by the end of the book, things do change quite a lot, opening up the door for a very different future for children in chess. Good or bad, you'll have to read it.
Yeah. Well, the- what Cassie may have heard about humans may have been exaggerated and not quite accurate. I wonder if Tennesseans had heard things about New Yorkers.
Ah, interesting analogy. They had it. We laugh about it a lot. We get some good laughs out of it. And of course, New Yorkers had plenty of things to say to me when I was moving to Tennessee. And
Yeah.
again, perfect example of needing to find things out for yourself.
Right.
People needed to know a New Yorker, and I wish that some of the doubters back north had met some of the wonderful
Yes.
people and colleagues that I now have here in the beautiful hills and mountains of East Tennessee.
Well, I grew up in New England, and this is probably too much information about me, but after my freshman year in college, I realized that I had all these biases against the South.
There you go.
That they speak with their drawl, so they must be slow, and all these types of things. And I knew that this was not right, so I hitchhiked to Nashville and
Mhm.
spent the summer in the South, and came back a much, I won't say wiser man because I was still an idiot, but but
Well, you could still have been a wiser one, right?
I was a wiser idiot. That's probably what I was looking for, right? And yeah, it changed my perspective about so many other
I'm so
things.
happy to
Opened
hear
my
that.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear that. That's beautiful. Yes. We moved here on purpose. We wanted that change. Again, having grown up in Brooklyn and Manhattan, I
yeah,
lived a wonderful life in New York. I worked in
sure.
tourism for many years, editing and publishing the tourism brochures for all of New York City. For the
Wow,
New York City Convention and Visitors Bureau, I worked in advertising. I went to many, many shows and all of that stuff, and I was done.
I
And
probably
now
got something that you did produce.
uh, excuse me? You probably do, um, if you have old brochures or something like that, but, we're just so grateful to be here. I mean, this is a whole different topic, but my husband and I, we're very
Yeah,
thankful every day to be in this beautiful environment, and we're glad for all the wonderful things we experience there. It doesn't have to be one or the other, right?
right,
You
right.
know?
Very good. Very powerful statement because the E Foundation is all over the world, and there are people that we've been
There you
helping,
go.
and I'm very grateful for the help. We'll never meet, we'll never see them, but I learn about their experiences, and it's really a great thing for me to know how good I have it. And
Sure.
even if I give a little bit of help, the demand always exceeds the supply. There's not enough that I can do for them. I just can't do it, but
I
I
know.
can help. And
And
then,
if more people join in the cause, we can get more done.
yeah,
And
that's very true.
I hope my book inspires more people to do just that. I hope it
I'm
inspires
hoping the same for you.
teachers that will, inspire them to have chess in the classroom. There are peppered throughout the book are examples of how it helps the children with their academics, as I personally experienced
Yes,
many times. Yeah.
yes. And uh, I wanted to talk a little bit about the guy who introduced me to you through email, uh,
Yes.
uh, Jerry Nash.
Yes,
And,
Jerry. Mhm.
and he's involved now in the chess in schools, which you're consulting to,
Yes.
and has also been appointed to the commission lead,
Yes.
the chair of the
He did.
Commission for chess and education.
Yes, for
Reading.
FIDE. Yes, I'm so happy to hear to know about that. I am aware of that, and I hope that I can help with that part of it in some way as well. But I'm just very happy to be affiliated with the people over there. They're terrific people doing terrific things, as you are. You know, we're all in this together.
Yes, and everybody doing a little bit makes it easier for all. And I think that it's a good thing because I know Jerry's background a little bit. Had
Yeah,
him on.
Jerry's fabulous, and I loved your interview with him. If anyone hasn't
Thank you.
seen that episode, please go back and watch it. There's so much to learn.
Yeah. And, I was talking about your awards. I'll just put this one up first because it was the one that caught my eye. That was so impressive. But, I get some awards too.
Good for you. Yes, I saw that somewhere on your website. Show it off. Do it. Hey, you know what? Behind me on the wall over there is my certificate from the University of Texas at Dallas, my graduate certificate in chess education. And when
Shout
I
out
was
to Lexi Root, Dr. Root.
Yes, Dr. Root, thank you so much for all you've done for me and for chess. And she also has, adult book, but she has so many great books also. But can I just tell you real quick about when I found out about that course? When you're a teacher, you need to get a certain amount of credits over your graduate degree, to get a salary increase and all of that.
Right,
So
right.
I was, working towards that, and I needed, I forget how many more credits, 10 credits, whatever it was. I can't recall, it was a long time ago, but I was, what should I take it in? Another reading specialty. I already had a gifted certification and I, crazy me, I Googled not knowing chess education. Maybe a miracle will happen. And it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And I saw this thing and I'm telling you that my adrenaline was surging. I'm like, no way, no way. This isn't possible. Is it And I had to, contact the powers that be and make sure that these credits would apply, even though I wanted to take it anyway. And yes, they counted.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I'm just the kind of person that adrenaline flows. It
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I go crazy. I was going crazy. I said, are you telling me I can actually get a certification in chess and education and have that count towards my credits? This was the most wonderful thing. I can't tell you. It still excites me to think about it. And it was
And,
I highly recommend that course of
and
study.
I just learned that you can get a minor at Webster
Yes,
University
that's
now.
correct. I heard
Great
that, I think, on
company.
your show when I was listening to your,
Yeah,
with the Susan Polgar. Was that the
right.
episode? Yeah. Webster, I believe, Webster University, and had that been it's a good thing that wasn't available when I was looking. I would have just had to go and get another degree, and
Yeah.
I'd be totally broke.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to compliment you on your initiative because part of what we're seeing that you finding these things, you first off you want to find them, then you have the initiative to look for them, and then you do find them and you take advantage of them.
Well, thank
So
you. It
good
is
for you.
true. I am a follower througher.
Yeah, and this is what I think chess also helps other people when I work with people in other countries and they tell me what the kids are doing now, it's because I think, and maybe this is me reading it into the situation, but I think there's something there that they have not only the idea that they can do something, but they have the confidence that they can, if they try, they can do it. And so they
Absolutely.
try to do things that they wouldn't have tried before.
Well, we have to set those examples.
Yes, yes.
We
And
have to.
you're doing it. You're walking the talk, and this has been a
Oh,
wonderful interview. And from my point of view, I don't know about the audience. Hi, Mom. But I think that what I'm seeing in the chess world, like I saw an explosion in scholastic chess in the 1990s, and it's continuing. And I think parents were the big part of the initiative for that, but also the chess world has responded. And to see Jerry get that commission
yes.
in FIDE, so it's an international phenomena that it's growing. And I think if we introduce chess into this school system on a more systematic basis, that it'll be, even if it's just an incremental change to our society, it will be an improvement.
I so agree, of course, I love to hear about schools that have it as part of their curriculum in other countries, unfortunately, mostly, perhaps some private schools, but at least we know it's possible.
Right.
And it should be. It's, I'd like to add for the educators or administrators that are out there, one thing I've always said is, why couldn't chess be a special in school? And what a special is, oh, today we have art, today we have music, today we have guidance, and they go off and do something for an hour, right?
Yeah,
Why can't chess be one of those things?
right. And I give a shout out to
For
my friend
starters.
Sunil Weramantri. He's been working on a chess curriculum for schools. And so there's a lot of people that are behind this concept, making it happen. And it's an exciting thing to watch happen. Because when I got interested in chess, and it was the old story of my dad, after dinner, my dad would play chess with my brother and I. And, and it turned out that once I started beating him, he didn't want to play me anymore. But that's also an old story. But in those days, there were no such thing as thinking of chess in the schools. It wasn't even a concept. There wasn't such a thing as a college scholarship to be gotten.
Sure, same.
So I have seen so much change just in my lifetime, and I don't see it ending anytime soon.
We need, yes, and we need that. We had that resurgence for adults with the Queen's Gambit, of
Oh
course.
gosh, yes,
We need another resurgence, and I say that we should take this book
yes.
and use it sincerely. I wrote
This
it for
book,
this purpose. Yeah, you got the same one.
yeah,
It's pretty awesome. But it's a read aloud. It has vocabulary. It has metaphors. It has everything that any read aloud
and it's not
a good
just a
read aloud
chess
has to
book.
offer. It's
It's
an
children's
award-winning
fiction.
children's book. That's true. Thank you. I need all the help I can get remembering what to say. But
Well, it's
truly,
been a delight to have you and to get to know you,
Jim,
Victoria.
same to you, and I hope we meet again sometime,
All right. So
online
I'm
or
just going
elsewhere.
to take you backstage and
Thank you.
tell everyone just keep watching the Eat Foundation's videos, because you'll find interviews like one with Victoria Winifred that is just outstanding.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, well, that was the end of the episode 64 of the Chess Files. The answers are out there. And remember that we're trying to build communities through chess. Doesn't matter what country you're from, doesn't matter what language you speak. You're part of the chess community. You're that if you play chess, you're part of the chess community. I'm stepping all over things I've written. But the idea here is to help me help them. So if you go to the website, eatfoundation.org, there's a way for you to donate to help me help them. And I appreciate all the help that I can get, because I need it.